Hi, I'm your local internet friend, aka Toki, and today's, well, this month's update is a lot. I say this month, I very specifically mean March, because I am recording this April 8th. A lot has happened, actually. So, my main focus for the month of March was to learn more academically when it comes to music. I was specifically supposed to be doing a crash course on how to read sheet music. And to some extent, I did do that. I learned like the notes and the how to read like the type of beats that each note has and how to tell the tempo. And I also learned about two different types of clefs, the bass clef, the treble clef, the difference between the two of them outside of the way that they look. And I also did the outline of the things I would tell myself at the beginning of my witchcraft journey, path, what have you. However, I also feel like I didn't really do as much as I wanted to or as much as I thought I could have that month. This month, that month. I thought I would have been a bit farther along before the month ended. Because that shouldn't have, really shouldn't have taken so much time. However, mid-March we had a Venus retrograde, which is the, like, rethinking and having a little retrospective on how you value yourself and how you value your relationships. And then to make things better or worse, depending on, worse for me in this situation. We also had to deal with the Mercury retrograde, which is a kind of looking back on how you've taken in information. So yeah, I wasn't really able to do much outside of what I said earlier. But the main thing that kept coming up throughout that entire month for me, which is probably another reason as to why I had to deal with so much inner turmoil or like constantly fighting mental battles, was the amount of regrets that I had versus like the choices that I regret now. And honestly, the best way to explain what I mean by all of that is actually a song that I originally heard before I started watching Steven Universe, but that came from Steven Universe. And that song is Here Comes a Thought. Now, for those who haven't watched the series and possibly don't plan on watching the series, or for those who need a bit of a reminder, the song Here Comes a Thought specifically is Garnet trying to understand, Garnet trying to get Connie to understand that within the relationship Stevonnie, or in the fusion Stevonnie, Connie and Steven, she has to go ahead and allow Steven to know things. You should be able to rely on the people that love you to at the very least embrace you when you're not having the best time. And in a situation of dealing with a bunch of regrettable decisions plaguing you, like butterflies that swarm around you, it's always nice to know that there's someone that will be there to listen and not completely judge you for whatever mistake you perceive to have made, yourself to have made. So yeah, to To put it simply, what I had to deal with was a whole bunch of regrets essentially swarming my brain and not allowing me to focus on what I originally wanted to do that month. However, that does not mean I didn't get anything done. For the most part, I did go over music theory. Very specifically, I watched a video that helped explain it better. I also learned a bit about circle of fifths, which were talked about in said video. And as I said earlier in this video, I learned about the bass and treble clef, the difference between the two outside of like the way that they look, and tempo or beats per minute, and how you can essentially tell like what tempo a song is supposed to have or what tempo a note is supposed to have. As far as the creative side of things, I did work more on creating instrumental pieces for songs that I'm also writing. I have one that is almost finished, and I might have to go, like, the song itself is almost finished, lyrics-wise. And I've also figured out that what I might have to be focusing on, or what I have to put most of my effort into, is like how you create these instrumentals. That is the main issue that I'm having to deal with. And gone through editing 3 separate fan fiction stories that I was working on. 2 of them to the point where I now need my character and plot sheets to like finish the writing. And as for my perceived regrettable choices, I haven't completely handled all of them. And in fact, even if I've handled it for that moment, it would only be for that moment, because they tend to come back like wandering thoughts that for the most part kill my momentum completely. But I think I'm getting a handle. I think I'm getting better at handling them when they do wander back. This is probably going to be a relatively short update video. But yeah, that's about it. What I'm going to be doing for April actually fits with the other video I'm supposed to be filming today. But I will probably be talking about that in that other video that I'm supposed to be filming today. So, with all of that being said, I am Toki, aka your local internet friend, kind of getting my mental butt whooped by these gosh darn retrogrades that will hopefully be over by the end of this week. And this is Toki saying Toki out.